Level 1. The Rookie. It's 5:47 in the morning. Your alarm goes off. You lie there for exactly 3 seconds, staring at the ceiling of your small apartment. One mattress, one window. The city is still dark outside. You're 22 years old. You just passed your firefighter certification exam 2 weeks ago. Your gear is folded on the chair next to the door. You folded it last night because you were too nervous to sleep. Today is your first shift at Station 7. You eat half a bowl of cereal standing at the kitchen counter. You're not hungry. Your stomach is doing something it hasn't done since your first day of high school. You drive to the station in silence. No music, just the sound of the engine and your own breathing. When you walk through that garage door and see the truck for the first time, the real one, not the one in the training manual, something shifts in your chest. It's red and enormous, and it smells like diesel and old smoke and something metallic you can't identify. You stand there for a second longer than you should. "You the new guy?" A voice behind you. You turn around. Senior firefighter, big arms, tired eyes. He looks at you the way people look at a forecast they don't trust. "Yeah," you say. He nods once and walks away. That's your welcome. The first few weeks are about learning everything you thought you already knew. Hose connections, ladder angles, pressure gauges, how to breathe inside a mask when your body is convinced it's suffocating, how to move through smoke when you can't see your own hand in front of your face. Your instructor tells you something on day 3 that you'll remember for the rest of your life. He says, "Fire doesn't care how confident you are. It only cares how prepared you are." You write it down that night. Your first real call comes on a Tuesday. Kitchen fire in an apartment building on the east side. Small, contained. You help pull the hose, you stay outside. You watch the senior guys go in. You feel completely useless and completely alive at the same time. When they come back out, nobody is celebrating. They just check their gear and repack the truck. That's when you realize this isn't a job where people cheer. This is a job where the best outcome is that nothing dramatic happened. You drive back to the station in silence, but this time the silence feels different. It feels earned. Level 2. The Firefighter. 18 months in. You know the truck like you know your own bedroom. You know which hose coupling sticks slightly. You know that the passenger side door takes an extra pull. You know the names of every person in the station. Their habits, their moods, their tells. You've been inside burning buildings now. Not many, but enough. Enough to know what fire sounds like when it's eating through a wall. Enough to know that heat doesn't feel like heat after a certain point. It feels like pressure, like the air itself is pushing you backwards. Enough to know that smoke is more dangerous than flame, and that the real enemy is always the thing you can't see. You've also learned what the job does to your body. Your hands are rough in a way that wasn't there before. There's a small burn scar on your left forearm. You barely remember how it happened. Your back aches on cold mornings. You've also learned what it does to your time. 24-hour shifts, every third day. It sounds manageable until you're sitting at your sister's birthday dinner on your phone because dispatch just called, and you watch her face do that thing, that small, quick adjustment where she pretends she's not disappointed. Your social life exists in the gaps. You date someone for 7 months. They're patient at first. Then they're frustrated. Then one night they say, very quietly, "I feel like I'm always third, after the job, after the guys." You don't argue, because they're right. The brotherhood at the station is real. It's also complicated. These people will carry you out of a building if they have to. They'll also give you absolutely no space to process anything emotionally. The culture runs on dark humor and deflection. You feel something difficult after a bad call, a kid who didn't make it, a building that came down faster than expected, and the standard response is a joke, a beer, a change of subject. You learn to do the same. You learn to pack things down. What you don't realize yet is how much space those packed down things take up. Level 3. The Veteran. 5 years, then 7, then 10. Somewhere around year 6, you stop counting calls. You've been inside hundreds of burning structures. You've pulled people out. You've also arrived too late. Both stay with you, but they stay differently. The ones you saved become background noise over time. The ones you didn't save don't. You're good at this job. Genuinely good. Your captain trusts you with newer guys. You're the one who stays calm when everything is moving too fast. Other rookies watch you the way you once watched the senior guys, with that quiet, measuring look. But here's what nobody tells you about being a veteran firefighter. The fear doesn't go away. It evolves. When you were a rookie, you were afraid because you didn't know what was coming. Now you're afraid because you do. You've seen enough structural collapses to know exactly what they sound like in the seconds before they happen. A certain crack, a certain shift in the way the smoke is moving. Your body has memorized these sounds the way it memorized your mother's voice. And so when you go in now, there's a background frequency of dread that runs underneath everything. You manage it, you control it, you function perfectly inside it, but it's always there. You're 32 years old. You live in a better apartment than you did at 22. You have a truck you're proud of. You have a dog named something simple like Rex or Benny, who goes absolutely crazy when you come home from a long shift. But some nights you sit at the kitchen table at 2 a.m. and you can't sleep, and you can't explain why. You're not thinking about anything specific. It's more like your nervous system forgot to turn off. You started reading about PTSD in firefighters, online, late, at night, alone. You don't tell anyone.
Level 4. The Wait. Thursday evening. Residential structure fire. 2-story house. Family inside. You've done this 100 times. You go in with your partner. Visibility near zero. You find the stairs. You move by memory and touch and instinct. Upstairs. 2 bedrooms. You check the first. Clear. You move to the second. There's a child inside. That is real. Something has changed. Some internal architecture that was holding things in a certain position has shifted slightly. You don't cry. You don't shake. You just feel, for the first time in years, the full weight of every call you ever packed away. In the weeks after, you start waking up at 3 a.m. for no reason. Small things bother you in ways they didn't before. A car backfiring, the smell of smoke at a backyard barbecue. You sit at the table and your coffee goes cold and you don't notice. Your captain notices something is different. He sits across from you one afternoon in the station kitchen and says without preamble, "You need to talk to someone." You tell him you're fine. He looks at you for a long moment and says, "I know. Talk to someone anyway." You make the appointment. It takes you 2 weeks to actually go.
Level 5. The Truth. The therapist's office is plain. Beige walls, a plant in the corner. You sit there and you don't know where to start. So you just start talking and you don't stop for 45 minutes. You talk about the calls, the ones that worked and the ones that didn't. You talk about the sleep. You talk about the 2 a.m. kitchen table. You talk about the relationships that narrowed and the friendships that simplified, and the version of yourself from 12 years ago who folded his gear the night before his first shift because he was too nervous to sleep. The therapist listens. Then she says something that rearranges something inside you. She says, "You've been taking care of everyone else for over a decade. When did you last let someone take care of you?" You sit with that for a long time. You go back to work. You keep going back because that's who you are. That thing that pulls you toward the fire instead of away from it, it hasn't gone anywhere. It's still there.
But something is different now. You've stopped pretending the weight doesn't exist. You carry it openly, quietly, with both hands. The newer guys look up to you, not because you're fearless, you've let go of that performance, but because when things go wrong, you are steady. You've seen enough to know that panic is a choice, and you've made the other choice so many times it's become your nature. You're not the same person who walked into Station 7 at 22. You're something harder and softer at the same time, something that knows the cost of this work and keeps showing up anyway.
Some nights, after a long shift, you sit outside the station on the small concrete step near the garage door. The city is quiet. You can smell the diesel from the truck. The sky is doing that thing it does just before dawn, going from black to something almost blue. You think about the rookie who's starting next week. You've seen the paperwork. 23 years old, top of his training class. Eager in that way that only people who haven't been inside a real fire yet can be. You'll be the one who shows him the truck tomorrow. You'll answer his questions. You'll watch him fold his gear the night before his first shift, and you'll think, he doesn't know yet. He doesn't know what this job will give him and what it will quietly take. He doesn't know about the 2 a.m. kitchen table, or the relationships that will narrow, or the weight that accumulates in the places you never think to check. But he'll find out. They all find out. And most of them, the ones built for this, they stay anyway. The alarm goes off. Somewhere in the city, something is burning. You put on your gear. You go.